Hi, welcome again to Meter Success Stories. And I'm Brooke, a coach here. And today I'm happy to be talking with Daniel, who is in the UK. Hi, Daniel. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you. Good day at work, and yeah,
Good
smiling as always.
Very good. Good to see you. And thanks for spending the time talking to our listeners about your dietary journeys. So
Yeah, happy to do so.
yeah, so fill us in. What are things like for you?
I'll start at my first ever attempt at making any dietary change. I started 2.5 years ago. I started running quite extensively. I used to run something like 10 kilometers a day to and from work. And I listened to a lot of Joe Rogan's podcasts. So I know a lot of people say that they listen to the ShawnBaker Joe Rogan podcast. Not me. I listened to the Zach Bitter one, and Zach Bitter, I thought was just amazing. Yeah, he's still there. Yeah, I thought Zach Bitter was amazing. 100-mile world record, all that kind of thing. So, and I heard that he was on a ketogenic diet, so I gave that a try. And it did wonders for my running. I was setting personal bests all the time. I could run marathons just on a whim, which was pretty good. And somehow, I know a lot of people go from vegan to carnivore, but I somehow went from keto to vegan. I don't know how I did it. I got convinced somehow that meat was bad, even though it was making me feel really good when I was running. So I changed to a vegan diet. And during that period, I decided to leave my job. Maybe this was the whole psychological aspect of vegan being not functioning correctly. But I left my job and decided that I was going to run across Europe. So I decided I was going to run from France to Istanbul in Turkey,
Wow.
which works out at it's about 3,000 kilometers. Yeah, so I decided to do that. I quit my job, all sustained on plants.
Did you get on the news when you did that?
Very local papers, nothing spectacular, but yeah, and then I was vegan and I was beating myself up every day doing something I was doing over a marathon a day,
Wow.
and all on nuts, all on poofer, just yeah, I cringe thinking about it.
Were you eating like beans and rice and nuts? No, you were
I
just
didn't
eating.
have that.
Oh, because you were cooking.
Yeah, exactly. So it was trail mix. I was just
You were
eating
living on trail mix.
seeds, dried fruit, and nuts.
God bless you. But you had been keto for a little while before you did.
About 5 months, 6 months or something.
Months.
And I was pretty well adapted. Like I could, as I say, run a marathon with no food or anything. So
amazing.
But yeah, about halfway through the journey, when I was going through Austria, so I'd listened to a lot of podcasts while I was out there. Some vegan ones, Rich Roll. I really like him. Respect him a lot. He's a ultra athlete. And I'd also listened to the Human Performance Outliers podcast, which was Zach Bitter and Sean. Yeah. And I remember listening to it as a vegan and just thinking I don't know, I really enjoyed it, even though I shouldn't. But more and more, I began to realise I was listening to it for Sean. I was really enjoying what Sean was saying, even though it was completely against my point of view. But then they had Tim Sheaf on, who was another Brit. He's the Ninja Warrior guy. And that blew my mind. I decided, hearing him speak, hearing a British person go through that journey. He was a vegan and then went to not really carnivore, but started eating meat again. Did that, so I did the same.
While you were running, I mean, you decided.
Yeah, I was in Austria, so I I woke up that morning and I was in a little bed and breakfast, and there was eggs on the spread, so I said, I'll have them.
Hey.
And actually, on that point, the same thing happened to Tim Sheaf. What happened to Tim Sheaf happened to me as well. I had a wet dream that night. So I was
Hey,
like, yes,
those amazing eggs, superfood.
exactly. So I was like, something's working. And I kind of, from that point, started to transition. And I couldn't really transition fully because I was traveling. So I couldn't just eat meat all the time. I wanted to go carnivore, but I couldn't. So I kind of started to eat more meat, but I was still eating fruit and stuff. And yeah.
So
Having said that,
you had kind of a mixed diet, sort of.
yeah, it was just I was trying to eat more meat because I knew that I needed that to fuel myself and like feed my muscles basically while I was running.
And did you feel better?
Yeah, I felt better for a while. Weirdly enough, thinking about it, I don't know how long I was feeling good, but I eventually, after that trip, I arrived in Bulgaria. Like I didn't fully get to Istanbul. I decided to cut my run short. But I then went to India, and I'm just thinking about it. I got pretty fat there, so I don't know what happened there. I think I was just eating a lot of the Indian food.
So you went to India. Were you running around India, or you stayed in one place?
I was doing a little bit of running, but I wasn't doing the whole trekking from place to place. So I went to Bulgaria, then Turkey, and then I flew to India and spent some time there.
How long were you in India?
Not long, just a month, and then I returned to the UK, and then that's when I fully started carnivore. Yeah.
So when you got to the UK, it's like you could sit down, spread out, and start cooking some meat.
Exactly. Yeah,
And
I was
that's
like,
what you did.
I'm finally back in control of what's on my plate. So I started eating a lot of meat, a lot of mince, ground beef, and yeah,
How
did
much
pretty well. Carried on running ultras and stuff, and I'm feeling fit. But I've had psoriasis since I was, I think, 17. That's the earliest I can remember having it. And that just whatever I tried to do, I could not get rid of that. I don't know why. Even on carnivore, listening to all the advice of everyone, like eat more fat, I did that and didn't seem to go. Cut out dairy, didn't seem to do anything. So I'm not sure, but
Was it worse when you were running, or when you were eating vegan, or was running helping the psoriasis? Would that kind of help it? Or
I'm not sure.
uh-huh,
Vegan did help it actually.
uh-huh.
I think keto did. I can't really remember.
Okay. So it's just in there. It's just threaded in throughout all of these gyrations, I guess.
Exactly.
And then
I can actually look back because before I set off on my run, I was bald. I shaved my head, so I can look back and I'll be able to see the psoriasis if it's there.
uh-huh. It was mostly on your scalp.
Yeah, it's scalp. Yeah, scalp psoriasis.
Okay. And so now you're eating carnivore, you're eating meat, and you're eating just a lot of mince and eggs.
Yeah.
And coffee or fish or
Coffee, yeah, sardines out of a can.
and you're feeling good. And when was this? How long ago was this that you started?
This was January 2020. That's right,
Okay.
yeah. So that was the year I came back.
So like a year and a half ago. Right?
Yeah, about a year and a half, on and off, because I definitely struggled with like binge eating disorders or whatever. I'd fall off the rails, put a lot of weight on, restrict, and just fall in this endless cycle, basically. It was pretty treacherous.
What were some of the first initial transition sense that you had about it? I mean, was your elimination good? Did you feel stronger? Did you feel?
Yeah, I mean, my running was certainly good. I could
Uh,
sprint and stuff. That was pretty good. Um,
your
looking back
recovery?
now, I don't think I was. No, I wasn't really hungry. I could fast. I could do like mad. I could do anything
Was,
like that.
was your recovery good with the running and
Yeah,
eating?
my recovery was pretty good. I train every day religiously. I've since don't do that now. I think that's pretty bad to do. Um, but yeah, I could go every day for a stupid amount of miles and yeah, just wake up fine the next day.
And you
Um,
must be hungry with all those miles. What were you eating?
not much. I was still doing nomad and stuff. Severe restriction. Severe restriction. So
Severe.
I think I was probably eating something like 2,000 calories. But I was
You were just running yourself down to the ground,
yeah,
just running, um, and one meal a day. But you were feeling good at that point.
yeah. Looking back in my journal, I certainly said I was feeling good.
Okay.
I'd always said I felt best doing OMAD strict. Like that was like when I was just beef OMAD. That's when I feel good. I I don't know if that's true, um, but yeah, I said I felt good then.
Yeah.
So.
Or you felt good compared to some previous way you felt.
Exactly. I don't think I liked the idea of just grazing all day. I think that kind of.
I'm sorry, what'd you say? You don't think you like the
I didn't
idea?
like the idea of like just eating all the way through the day.
Yeah. Especially
I
if
thought
you're
it
running.
was weird because I was living by myself and not working at the time. So I just had all this spare time, and all I'd do is just think about food. I just think about what was the next meal.
So
So
you were
really,
hungry.
really toxic relationship, really.
Well, it sounds like you're so hungry and you're running and
Mm.
running.
But everything that I was reading online, it was like, oh, mad fasting. This is the
Mm,
longevity
yeah,
benefits. So I was trying to replicate that, I think. Um,
a lot of stress.
Certainly.
So carnivore, so you're still, so what's going on now?
I've since 2 weeks ago started experience that. I listened to a lot of like Paul Saladino. I actually got really interested in Brad Marshall following both your conversation and ShawnBaker's conversation with
Yeah,
the whole saturated fat thing. And like he's a big proponent of stearic acid, which is found in suet and
yeah.
cocoa butter and butter for that. Not as much, but yeah, it's in butter as well. So I was like really into that. And he has the whole croissant diet.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't bring myself to do that. Like I tried it. I did try like a couple of days doing that, and I put on loads of weight.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think this is gonna work. So I went straight back to carnivore.
Yeah.
Um, I was still fascinated because I remembered when I was on keto, I'd eat like 1,000 to 2,000 calories of chocolate every day. And when I say chocolate, it was like just cocoa butter with some protein powder or something. And I was really lean and I was doing really well. And I was like, definitely something was working there. I think it was a stearic acid.
Yeah. Saturated. Yes. It's so high in stearic acid. It's like suet.
Exactly. So I was just eating a lot of that. So I was like, some Brad Marshall is certainly onto something. And I'd check his Reddit forum every day basically, just because I wanted to learn more about it. And I think he's a funny guy, if I'm honest.
He's a funny guy.
Um,
And I get warm eating high stearic acid fats.
yeah,
I
yeah, it's
immediately
good.
get warm. Mhm.
Yeah, I do enjoy like really dark chocolate, although I prefer it less dark now. But anyway, I'll go on to that.
When you did so much running, I would think that the fat was probably really.
Yeah, I remember I used to go to the track and take like a little tub of cocoa butter chocolate, and I'd literally do laps, and then like I don't know, I'd done like 10 miles, and I'd just start eating. I
Right.
probably look quite psychopathic, but it was.
Now, did you like the suet as much as the cocoa butter?
I don't think I've ever had suet.
Oh,
Um,
suet's good too. It's that clean. It's
I've
chewy.
had, I might have, I've got beef fat from the butchers before, but I don't know. Like I did get one because I was in your meeting the other day. I did get some fat one time that looked like a bit like what you was eating. Like it was crumbly.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah, so I'd imagine that was suet. Because even the butchers that I get it from, a lot of them in the UK don't even know what it is. But like, I ask for suet and they're like, what?
it's so funny because it's the UK, English cooking, what use suet, mince pies, and they use suet
Exactly.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. It's bird feed now. You're just eating bird feed, which is sad. But yeah, I never. Well, maybe I did use suet, and I think that it helped. I liked the beef fat. That was good. High in stearic acid. I think that was again the benefits. But yeah, like looking at the forum every day, I came across this guy called Ray Pete. It kept coming up, and he's like very similar to Brad Marshall's idea of his croissant diet, but instead of using starch, because he uses potatoes and butter, or like bread
Yeah,
and butter.
Brad uses some starch.
There's
Yeah.
philosophy is all about like sugar and
Yeah.
not even necessarily high fat, but good animal protein, so liver, eggs, lean
Yeah.
fish.
Yeah. Yeah. He's about animal foods.
Yeah.
But there's a
So
difference. It's an animal food diet with the big difference.
yeah, so I think Brad Marshall definitely was an animal. I think he appreciates animals because he raises them, but he was just like croissants and sourdough bread and that kind of thing.
Yeah, but Brad, Brad uses animal fats.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely. Yeah.
the majority of what he eats is from animal too, Brad.
Yeah, some of the concoctions that people make on that forum is amazing. Like they'll put like taro in with stearic acid flakes, and they just make a stearic acid bomb. I don't know if it tastes good or not.
When you with suet, you can't really add more stearic acid to it because it's becomes powder because it's already at 33%. They're already
They
at
try.
yeah, you can try and it just doesn't come together, because that's kind of the peak amount. But so you brought up Ray Pete, which is amazing. He's amazing.
Yes.
Elder.
Yeah. So
Amazing.
I think it was 2 weeks ago. I was up at where my dad lives. He lives up in the countryside, and I remembered that they make like really good honey there. Well, the bees make really good honey, and like raw organic honey. So I thought, let's treat myself to it, and I did, and I just felt amazing. So
maybe with Paul's inspiration,
definitely.
Dr.
But
Saladino's inspiration, you incorporated some honey.
yeah, so I'd done that before, but on Paul's like recommendation,
Yeah.
and I felt like a sugar addict still. Like I did that, and I just felt really guilty. And then went back. I was like, oh no, I can't do that, and went back. But now that I've read more and more about it, and it all kind of makes sense.
So it feels good to you.
I didn't feel guilty. I felt alive. Like I felt confident. I was like, right, this. I felt like my old self.
How's your sleep, and how has your sleep been throughout this whole process?
I do have an Oura ring. I just don't like to use it. I don't know really. My sleep's good these last 2 weeks. That I've been eating a lot of sugar.
And when you were running, your sleep was probably pretty good too because you were just tired from running all day.
Probably. I think I've always slept pretty well. I don't think that's ever been a problem. Like I definitely practice all the sleep hygiene. I dark room, cold temperature, same time every day. So I feel like that's the kind of thing that I've got right. But I feel good now. Like I mentioned this in the Alex meeting the other day. I've been eating ice cream before bed, and that helps me get to sleep as well.
Well, it's true. Milk really is a sleep aid. Milk and honey, milk and ice cream. Milk is such it's a comfort food. It is a sleep aid. Those animal foods. Yeah, milk is definitely. So I mean, ice cream is basically milk product with sugar.
Milk, eggs, sugar are the ones that I've been eating, and it tastes good. And yeah, it's been helping me.
And so
But yeah, I think,
you've been able to incorporate milk in your animal-based diet easily. It works for you.
yeah, weirdly, like when I was on a carnivore diet, I always convinced myself, I'd listen into the meetings and I'd convince myself that I was lactose intolerant or something. Like, and I couldn't tolerate milk. Like even butter would flare me up. And I'm drinking loads of milk now, and it does not do anything. My skin's fine, my hair's fine. So I don't know what that was. Might have been stress.
Dairy gets beat up a little bit, but it's a wonderful animal food. If you can use it, use it.
Yeah, I think it was more that it's a whole psychological thing. I think I convinced myself that the food was bad for me, so it was stressing me out to drink it, like I couldn't enjoy it. But now I just, yeah, I love milk. I drink a lot of it. 4 pints a day. I got a big raw milk order earlier, so I'm excited to drink that.
And how's your sleep now?
Good, yeah, good. I'm recovering well.
And
For the first,
how's everything on your milky diet?
for the first time in my life, I'm putting on muscle, which is very nice.
Very
I'm
nice.
feeling, yeah, I've not been able to put on muscle despite like all the exercise that I've been doing. I'd slave away, I'd run to the gym, work out at the gym, run home, and I just couldn't do anything. Even my legs didn't look good.
I love how I think I heard you say early on, yeah, I run a 10K to work and then I run a 10K home.
Yeah, 5K each way, but yeah,
yeah. Okay.
I did get to the point where I'd run half a marathon before work. It was ridiculous. I don't know what it was. This whole.
Did you ever talk to Zach? Did you ever talk to Zach Bitter?
No, I did actually put a few requests in to go on the HPO because I thought my story might be quite interesting while I was out there. But like Zach's commented on my Instagram stuff sometimes. So yeah, he's a great guy. I still listen to him. I love that man.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
He's an
I
inspiration.
know he has a carnivore diet, but he also incorporates carbohydrate, as I understand.
Yeah, he eats honey and milk, and I always remember when he'd say stuff like that. I'm like, think what you could do though with just a carnivore diet. I'd be like, I was almost convinced that he was kind of letting himself down by eating them other foods, but I realised no, he was doing what's optimal for him. Like he's literally the best in the world at running 100 miles. So like, why am I to question what his regimen?
That's
so
awesome.
yeah.
And so, are you eating liver now?
Yeah, I eat liver. I really like liver now. I never really liked it. So I'd never really liked it at the start. And then when I was strict beef, I'd eat it raw. And I don't know what I was doing there. I think I was trying to prove a point. Whereas now I just save it a little bit. But I eat a lot of it. I eat liver more or less every day. I haven't had any today, so I'll probably have some soon.
And do you eat oysters?
I don't eat oyster. I've got oyster tablets, capsules.
And do you eat eggs?
Eggs. I eat eggs every day. I love eggs. Eggs are like my superfood. They always have been. That's probably the one thing that I missed when I was vegan. I've never really been a massive meat person. Even when I was carnivore, I didn't really. I wouldn't say that. I didn't like steak. You know.
You like the mince, you said. You like.
Yeah, I prefer ground meat. But.
And do you still like ground beef? You still prefer ground beef over other cuts?
Probably, yeah, but I haven't really been eating much. So I've just been using the milk, the liver, the eggs.
So a rich animal food diet with, sounds like you're saying with honey or fruit?
Fruit and honey. So I've actually got this here.
So a rich animal food diet with some, is that a bucket of?
That's 3 kilos of honey.
Okay, that's a bucket of honey. All right. A rich animal food diet with a bucket of honey. And some people would say that's sort of an animal food or something.
Yeah, but I don't know. It makes me feel good.
High carbohydrate. It's a sugar.
It is a sugar, and it makes me feel good. I think that's the main thing.
Yeah. So it sounds like it's working for you.
Definitely, yeah. I've just been experimenting. That's the thing. Like this whole thing's been an experiment for me, and I feel like I'm getting to a place where like I'm understanding what my body wants, what it's doing. I'm training really hard, which is good. Like not to the point of exhaustion, but like I'm feeling fit again. I'm feeling confident, which is quite good. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Is your body composition changing?
Yeah, as I say, I'm getting muscles for the first time in my
Because your
life.
workouts are better, maybe.
Probably, yeah, that's probably it. Because yeah, I know a lot of carnivores that have still put on muscle, but I never seem to be able to do that, even with overeating. I know Sean always says like eat more than you want to eat, and I did that, but I'd just get skinny fat.
Well, you're running a lot. You were running a lot.
I stopped running there's been certain periods where I was like, right, I'm cutting the running out. I'm just doing the X3. I'm just going to the gym, but it still didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I'm not running anymore.
You're taking a break.
Yeah, I'm taking a break from running for a while. I don't think it's good.
You're catching up.
It's just a stress.
You stopped running, but you're catching up.
Yeah.
Catching up with yourself. That sounds like, I mean, you're all around Europe, so now you get to catch up with yourself.
Yeah. I ran from France to Bulgaria, which was about 3,000 kilometers.
It's great.
On a PUFA diet. So I
Get
really,
rid of those PUFAs.
yeah, I've destroyed my body, really. I was eating like 5,000 calories, 60% of them PUFA. So I feel lucky that I'm alive.
But you probably didn't store that much of it because you were just
Good
burning
point.
stuff off.
Yeah, good point. No, well, actually, no, because I did get fat. I was getting fatter as I went on the run.
Okay, so it's exiting now. You taking extra vitamin E for because of all
Yeah,
that stuff?
yeah, I do. I take vitamin E. Yeah, I've been reading about the supplements and stuff around.
Well, just for the listeners, so for the polyunsaturated fatty acids that you consumed when you were probably eating lots of nuts and seeds, trail mix scorp. Yeah. Well, good for you. Because you also came back and ate a lot of saturated fat, the cocoa butter.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, even on carnivore, when I cheat, I try to do like high saturated fat stuff.
Yeah.
I think I just like it. I don't know. It's
it sounds like you do like it.
Yeah.
So how's that psoriasis?
Good. Yeah. So weirdly enough, like, no, it's not weird, but my hair was falling out earlier this year. And I'm 25, so I was like,
yeah, you haven't even had a Saturn return and you're doing all this.
I'm like, something is definitely going wrong. So it's clearing up. I won't say the psoriasis is completely gone, but it's certainly healing for the first time in, I don't know how long, 7 years, I guess, 8 years. I think it's down to stress. I think I'm a lot less stressed about what I'm eating, the foods I'm eating. Like, I think the sugar helps, actually, if I'm honest.
So maybe you're reaching a point of equilibrium. No.
Yeah, that's the weird thing, because a lot of people like to hate on balance. A lot of people say like, oh, balance doesn't exist. And that the more and more I think about it, it's like, yeah, balance is everything. Like, we need balance.
I think it is. I think it is really important. Yeah, equilibrium, balance. I mean, even with PUFA, I think Mr. Pete said this. He said something about, well, the hibernating bear fills himself up with the salmon fat, with the polyunsaturated fatty acids, so he can hibernate for a long time. Slows his metabolism down. So it just goes to show it's not about good or bad so much. It's about balance.
Yeah, Brad Marshall's wrote about this recently, about torpid animals that go into hibernation. It's a brilliant piece. And yeah, they just gorge on linoleic acid. You can make you can make animals that don't normally hibernate by feeding them linoleic acid.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yes, it sounds like you're at a good place right now, and it sounds like you've changing your way of eating. It's still animal based, but it's got a lot more carbohydrate in it.
Yeah, it does. Just balance, you know. Just trusting what my body wants.
And you're not eating plants so much. You're not out there eating broccoli and avocado and Brussels sprouts. And
I'm
piles
not.
of
I eat a
salad.
carrot a day.
Sorry?
I eat a carrot every day.
Yeah, you eat the carrot. Yes, you eat the carrot. Yes, the holy carrot. Absolutely the carrot. But you're not eating it doesn't sound like you're eating a bunch of vegetables. It sounds like you're still eating
No.
animal foods with sugars, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like easy energy when I
Easy
need it.
digestible. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
fruits have been brilliant, and I've always craved fruit. Like I remember when I was keto, I was like, how am I gonna live without my apples? And
oh.
I missed apples a lot.
Oh,
And
with keto, yes, because keto sees apples as a very starchy.
yeah, exactly.
Carby.
But I always felt really good eating apples, which was weird.
Yeah.
So I started doing that again, and yeah, it's good.
So you were probably eating a lot of apples when you were running all over Europe, though.
Yeah. I was eating a lot of fruit, and I
Yeah.
think that was good. That was a good thing. That was keeping me going.
Yeah,
Um,
probably bag of apples. Yeah, probably.
yeah, bananas, dried fruit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably keeping you going. Probably not doing anything good for your teeth or bones, but it's probably keeping you going at the time. When you were vegan. But now it sounds like you've found this kind of balance between animal foods and fruits. Interesting. Yeah.
Certainly.
I love your intrepid sense of adventure.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know if it was that. It was a bit of naivety that I thought. Actually, I don't think I was vegan when I came up with the idea for the run. It's hard to pinpoint when it was, but I think I might have been in real deep ketosis, running through a park, and I remember just thinking, why am I running here when I could be running anywhere in the world?
I think it's
So
great.
that night I went home to my flatmates and just said, guys, I'm going to run around the world. And they were like, yeah, okay, you go for that, Dan. And then
That's
6 months,
fantastic.
4 months later, I was on a plane. Yeah, it's
Do
crazy.
people take you in to give you, you have a place to stay at night?
Yeah, some places. So I started off camping in a little bag for 7 days, and then that was terrible because I didn't sleep at all. So I switched to getting Airbnbs and hostels and whatever I could find. It was I stayed in some funny places in Serbia and Croatia, Slovenia. Yeah, it was an interesting trip.
My man, he rode bike from coast to coast of the United States, from one coast to the other.
Oh wow, yeah, transatlantic.
Yes, and he found that the best places to sleep turned out to be the cemeteries, because there was always a water source, and people didn't go in there at night, so they left you alone. So it was quiet. So it seemed quiet and safe.
Oh wow, that's a good. I did see churches as a bit of a safe haven.
Yeah, churches,
know.
sometimes they're locked, but
Yeah,
the cemeteries are never locked.
I'll take that into account when I go on my next adventure.
Yeah. Your adventure through your own personal nutrition is just as intrepid. So I really appreciate it. I really appreciate that you're sharing, and you're candid, and you're sharing with us. And it sounds like it's working for you. Sounds like you might find a great sweet spot. No
Yeah,
pun,
there was many
unintended,
moments.
unintended.
Yeah, there's many times where I thought like, oh, maybe I could write a success story, but it never felt like now it does. It never felt like before.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I feel like my old self. It's brilliant.
That's great, Daniel. And you're on Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
You can follow you on Instagram.
you
Oh,
can actually follow. You can follow my journey across Europe on that. I deleted all the posts because I was pretty embarrassed about them. I don't look back on it fondly, but there's still the Instagram stories, so you can actually follow me all the way across Europe if you want to watch that. Yeah, try not to cringe.
well, people might want to just follow you still on your journey.
Yeah, maybe I'll post something, but yeah, I don't have much time for social media.
Oh, okay. And where are you working? Too?
Yeah, I work for Sky in the television firm.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, do you drink coffee?
Yeah. So on that, I used to drink like black coffee when I was fasted, and it just sent me weird. Like it sent me to sleep or jittery or whatever, and I thought it was like bad intolerance to caffeine. But now I have it with milk. It's fine. Like it's nice sustained energy. I actually put sugar in my coffee as well.
So milk and sugar works better for you than coffee.
Mate, Alex will probably cringe at that, but yeah, it's
You
nice.
You got
It's a nice drink.
Yeah. And do you eat gelatin?
Yeah, I've always done gelatin.
Bone broth?
Collagen really, but yeah, bone broth as well. I remember actually a time this year that I was doing quite well when I was even not strict carnivore actually, but I was listening to Pat Marshall. What I'd do is I'd mix cacao butter with collagen, and actually had vitamin C added it in as well, and that I'd gorge on it. I'd eat like 2,000 calories of this chocolate in a sitting.
That's kind of like a keto bar.
Yeah, it's exactly like a keto brick, but instead of a whey protein, it's collagen. And it was amazing.
So powdered collagen and cocoa butter is what you mix.
But now I'm just doing I put like gelatin in my coffee and all sorts.
Do you ever make
anyway I can get it?
Do you ever make gelatin to have,
No, I'm gonna. I saw you doing it on the meeting the other day, so I'm gonna do something similar soon.
Yeah.
With some juice, honey.
Yeah, I like using gelatin in lots of different ways.
I'm gonna see if I can get the little gummy bear molds as well, so I can make them like Haribos.
Yes, of course you can. Well, thanks again. This is fun and exciting to see different ways that people mix it up and customize animal-based diet. However they need to make it work for them is awesome. I mean, I think we wouldn't be anywhere without the animals. I bless them every day.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Lamb for the liver. I get a lot of lamb liver, so yeah.
I
appreciate that.
Nice. And yeah, and I know you're at MeatRx and you utilize MeatRx and you're part of the community there.
Yeah, most people will recognize me. I'm usually in the meetings quite often. So yeah, I love everyone on there. It's brilliant.
Do you have any pieces of advice for people who are just starting on the carnivore diet or on the SAD diet, or they're just not happy with the way they're eating? And what would you say to them?
Honestly, I'd say trust your cravings. But it's a weird one because I'd even say that for sugar as well. I think like if you're craving sugar, maybe your body needs it. That's I think what I've found out the hard way through a year and a half of experimenting. But yeah, I'm not going to go out and say eat like cookies or whatever, donuts. But
yeah, cookies and
donuts. Want a bit of fruit.
That's the wrong kind of fat.
Yeah, that's it. It comes accompanied with bad fat, so I wouldn't do that. But I think if you fancy a bit of fruit, I'd say go have some fruit. And I'm sounding like Paul Saladino here, so people probably hate me, but
I think you sound like Daniel.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Me doing me.
yeah, you doing you. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you, Brooke. That was amazing.
So great. Carny on, your way.
Thank you.
Okay.